So where are most of the jobs, and are employers stepping up their game to try to attract the best employees?
Scott Blumsack is Monster's Senior Vice President of Research and Insights, and joining us now. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Scott, so can you talk to us and tell us about what the job outlook is right now compared to where it was a year ago?
Sure. Overall, the job market is looking really strong. So the latest job report showed an improvement in May over April, and last week's unemployment figures have been the lowest since the start of the pandemic. So overall, we're heading in the right direction. And that trend is also playing out in the LA area specifically. So if we look at sort of the average number of jobs that are posted on Monster every day, in May it was up more than double where it was a year ago, and it was up 18% in May versus April. So overall, things are definitely heading in the right direction.
And you know, we've talked to people who've openly said, even economists have said, I'm not going back to work yet. My unemployment benefits are great right now. So what are the hot areas for employment right now? And what are employers doing to recruit the best candidates and get them back into the workforce and not at home?
Yeah, it's a great question. So in terms of areas of the strongest demand, there's really, I think, two areas. One is some of those areas that have been strong throughout the pandemic, so things like technology and healthcare, things like software developers, registered nurses, those continue to have strong demand. And then also some areas that are more indicative or aligned to the reopening. So we've seen big increases in areas like retail sales, in areas like kind of warehouse work, as well as in truck drivers, especially to make all those deliveries as we continue to do all that shopping from home. In terms of what employers are doing to try and recruit potential candidates, there's really three things. The first thing is they're being very clear around the safety precautions that they're taking as they reopen. The second is they're really trying to promote flexibility, because that's obviously something that employees have been accustomed to and have demonstrated their ability to be productive in a flexible working environment. And then third is a lot have been increasing wages or doing signing bonuses or things like that as a means to attract candidates.
Well, Scott, looking into the future, what are the trends that you would predict in terms of returning to the office? Do you see more of the hybrid workplaces coming out of the pandemic remaining?
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely a spectrum, and employers will do what's right for them and their employees. But I think generally speaking, sort of this hybrid or flexible workforce will be here to stay for the foreseeable future. So this mix of going into the office maybe a couple of days a week and then having that flexibility to spend a couple of days working from home and using the office more as a chance to collaborate and have things focused around that.
It's probably helping when it comes to parenting at home right now, too, during these summer months. I can imagine having that flexibility to stay home still, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a key area of importance to employees, is especially as there are still some holes around childcare as the reopening continues. Having that flexibility to be able to care for your children, especially during those summer months, is going to be very important.
Very true, very true. Okay, Scott Blumsack with Monster, thanks so much for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Take care.
Apple Store is getting ready to drop mask mandates.
Oh, wow.